Welcome to Tristar. Today I will be showing you how to set up menu security for WinServe, WinCopy, Accounts Receivable, and CaseGator. Menu security, when enabled, will give you a prompt like this that lets you sign in with a user ID and password. Once you've signed in with the user ID and password, that user ID will be used to determine what permissions you have in the program. For example, in this case, I am using the administrator in our test area, so I have access to every single menu here. However, somebody that is using a different login may only be able to use certain menu items like creating a new work order, but not editing customers. Before you set up your menu security and we actually turn it on for you, you're going to want to create logins and set up permissions. To do so, go to Maintain, Setup, Menu Security. To start, let's change Chano Test to the correct menu security settings that we want to set up for this company. First, we need to go to Logins. These are the logins for every single security group that you saw on the previous page. These logins have not necessarily been assigned to a security group. A login that is not assigned to any security group will not be able to use the program. Let's go ahead and add Chano Test. And we'll set the name to Chano. This is how you create a login. The user ID will be the information entered when logging into the system, as well as the password. The name will be what shows on things like status. Now that we've added our login, we need to remember the username. So our username was Chano Test. Now we can go to our security group, which if you don't have one, you can just add one by entering the name of what you want the security group to be. We can worry about which menus there are after we've added people to the security group. I'm going to select Chano Test from the available security groups and then hit the users. Currently, there is one user, Chano, in the Chano Test security group. So now we're going to go ahead and add the username that we just created. This needs to match exactly with the user ID that we entered in the logins. Now that we have Chano Test added, Chano Test can use all of the menus associated with the Chano Test security group. To change the menus, go ahead and highlight the security group and then hit Menus. There are a lot of available options for each security group. Most of these can be lined up directly with the above mentioned menu options, for example, File, List, Maintain, Reports, and so on. However, there are also things like Customer Context menu, which get a little more complicated. A context menu is a menu for profiles or for screens. For example, when you're picking a customer on an order, you can choose pick this one. You can also add a new customer or you can edit a customer. These three options are in menu security. If you were to uncheck one of them, that employee in the security group would no longer be able to do that option. So for this, the Chano Test group would not be able to make a new customer. There are also options like main context menu. This is when you right-click an order. The dispatch is right-clicking an order on the dispatch screen. And then there are some other options within menus. That finishes it for the context menus and the menu options inside WinServe. WinCopy, AR, and CaseGator will all have different options. Now that we've gotten that set up, we can go ahead and close out of this menu. Now we can go ahead and close WinServe and reopen it, but instead of opening up as our administrator, we can use the new login that we created. With the new login, we can see that some actions in WinServe are limited. For example, when we go to a customer, we no longer have the new customer option. We only have pick this one and edit. Users that are also not part of the administrator group will not be able to make or change the security groups. Creating a security group in WinServe will not affect other programs like AR. For example, if we were to log into AR as Chano Test, our newly created user, we would not be able to use most functions in AR. If you want to allow a user to use AR, you need to make a security group in AR and then select that login in the users for that menu security group. The same goes for Kscaler and WinCopy.